Hello and Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Kashif Kamran from Kashif Kamran's Digital Learning. AAA December 23 exams are now 7 days away. Now, what you should do within these 7 days is very, very important because there is already loads and loads of questions I'm getting each day that what should I do now in these remaining 7 days? I'll try to address that frequently asked question because uh, perhaps every minute or every 10 minute or every 15 minutes there is a message on my WhatsApp asking me what should I do now, what should I do now, because I understand by this time in by this point in time, most of the students have completed their study approach towards the December 23 exams, but they're very nervous how they should utilize the last 7 days ahead of their exams. So I'll be addressing that within the session today. And if you have any questions, you can just drop your questions to me and I'll be answering them. The frequently asked question, which I am getting since last 24 hours on a very regular basis, is what should I do in these last 7 days? Nervous times, very stressful times. At times, you cannot pick yourself what you should be doing because you're mostly done with stuff you should be doing for the upcoming December 23 exams. What I believe is that these last 7 days, ideally, you should be focusing on practice because that holds the key, but with time management. I have no idea whether you have done questions within time management or not. Have you put the timer? Have you followed the timer effectively? Have you put the timer for the question number one? And where the timer ends, have you stopped writing? Have you judged yourself how much you write within the stipulated time you have for the question number one? I was addressing the time management in another session just a couple of minutes ago on my social media. And what we came across in that particular session was the time management for the question number one, which is ideally 99 minutes, of which 24 minutes is for reading and planning and 75 minutes is for writing. Have you done that time management? Have you ensured how much of the question number one you complete within 99 minutes, 24 minutes of reading and planning time, and 75 minutes of writing time? Because at the end of the day, on the day of your real exam, you need to stop when the 99 minutes are over and you need to move to the next question because there are opportunities awaiting you in the next question. You cannot just say, I will excel my first question. No. You cannot say, I'll put extra time on my question number one. No. Whatever percentage of question you have completed within the 99 minutes for question number one, stop. Move on to the next question. Question number two and three are awaiting you. Each of the question two and three is to be done in 48 minutes, where you have 12 minutes of reading and planning time and 36 minutes of writing time. There are opportunities in every question. Grab them because any student who will avail most of the opportunities will pass. And any student who runs after excelling the first question and compromising the section B will fail. So you need to grab the opportunities. You need to take the wise decisions on the day of exam. Your judgment is very, very important. Anyone who takes the right decisions, the right judgments within 195 minutes and better utilize the 195 minutes, you will pass. Because on the day of exam, it is the 195 minutes and your judgment. Any student who exercise careful judgments, sound judgments, try to ensure that you are grabbing the opportunities wherever they are, trying to ensure you try your best to do the maximum percentage of question within the stipulated time. But still, if it is not complete, move on. 1 out of 10 students complete the 100% AAA paper. So you to be among the 1 out of 10, it's very difficult. But you can be among 9 out of 10 who completes 85 to 90% paper and pass the triple exams. So all Best you can do within 99 minutes for question number one, do it. Stop, move on. What best you can do in 48 minutes for question two, do it. Stop, move on. And what best you can do within the last 48 minutes of your exam for question number three, do it. And that ends the exam. Opportunities, grab them. Try to ensure within every question there will be some marks, there will be some requirements where you will be very sound at, you will be very good at. Try to attack them, try to grab those marks as effectively as possible. Try to score 100% of those marks and excel. So wise decision making right on the day of exam. You still have 7 days. You can do 7 papers every day within time management. So set a timer for 99 minutes. Do the question number one. See where you reach 80%, 70%, 75%. Good. Move on. Set a timer for 48 minutes, then set a timer for 48 minutes. Do such practice within the remaining 7 days, including the mock exam, because the more time management practice you do in the next 7 days would really help you on Monday, the 4th of December, when you have the real challenge, the real exam, where you need to be very, very alert within 195 minutes. So I hope you will all follow that. Definitely, the mock exam itself is important, the ACCA AAA December 23 mock exam, and you should do that within the time management of 99 minutes for the first question, 48 minutes each for the question number two and three. Then please ensure that you are reading through all the recent articles, you are familiar with all the recent articles which the AAA examining team has published since September 22 exam sessions when changes came into the paper. So you are all aware of all the articles which ACC examining team has published since September 22. If you have forgotten them and you have no idea of them, you still have 7 days to revise them, go through them. Let's give you a quick summary of all the articles published since September 22, which are extremely important. The first one is under the syllabus area B by the name of Ethics in AAA Exam. This is a wonderful article which guides you about exam techniques for ethics, how to write an ethical issue in AAA, and how to write a safeguard. This is under syllabus area B. Then under syllabus area C, you have two articles by the name of ISQM 1 and 2, which includes the revised ISA 220. So you should have sound knowledge of quality management standards. You know, quality control is an obsolete term. Quality management is a new term. You should be aware of the system of quality management. You should be knowing the requirements of the revised ISA 220, and you should be capable of holding your nerves around quality management questions on the day of exam. Examining team has given a lot of exam focus of how a question can come around ISQM 1 and 2. So you should read that article effectively. Then under the syllabus area D, we have an article by the name of Approaching Section A Question. This is a wonderful article which tells you what can come in question number one, how the question can be set, how the examiner can put the requirement of risk, and what the examining team expects from you in the answer for risk. How would you prioritize the significant risk that has been addressed in this question? In what different ways a question on risk can come in, just like the June 23 exam, where the examiner asked you that why inventory is a significant risk. So that was a separate requirement asking you that why inventory is considered as a significant risk. So if you have read through this article, at least you know the dimensions on which a risk question can come in your December 23 exams. Please don't ignore this article. If you have read it, wonderful. Not read it, please do read it. Then under the syllabus area D, there are further two articles which are on exam technique of how to write a good business risk answer, part one, and then how to write a good audit risk and ROM answer. Uh, if an examining team asks you evaluate the business risk, what are they expecting from you in terms of 2 marks? How you should develop a business risk? Read the exam technique article. If the examining team is asking you audit risk or ROM, what are they expecting you from 3 marks? How would you prioritize the significant risk? How would you evaluate the significance of a risk? every aspect has been guided by the examining team in the part 1 and part 2. So please ensure you read through these technique articles, which will really add value to your upcoming exams and primarily the question number 1. Then more importantly, under the syllabus area F, there are two articles by the name of Assurance of Social, Environmental and Sustainability Information, Part 1 and Part 2. You know, other assignments is a very regular feature of the Section B of the paper, and there is a potential that the examining team might ask you the methods in agreeing the engagement. You know, this is a very frequently asked question, methods in agreeing an engagement from an existing client or procedures. So what if a question comes around assurance on social, environmental, and sustainability information, asking you the methods, the practice management methods, and the procedures, or any ethical issues around this? It could possibly be your existing client and what sort of ethical issues can come in from the case study. So you know how questions comes on other assignments. It's mostly around practice management. It's mostly around procedures. So be prepared for that as well. So that makes the list of the articles to 8. There are 8 articles and you have 7 days. If you have still not done them, please ensure you're doing them because these are very, very important for your upcoming December 23 exams, recent articles. The last thing, obviously, the focus on time management, I just guided you on that, how you should be excelling on time management for question 1, 2, and 3. And already another session is available on my social media, which I just did today on time management. The last thing before I take your question and answers is professional marks. 20% of the paper is on professional marks. Grab the most of them. In the first question, you have 10 marks, of which 3 are communication skill marks. These are the easiest marks. I've covered them so many times on my uh, free webinars on YouTube, and my registered students. I've given you access to my premium webinar from December 22 onwards. I've guided you how to structure the briefing note, headings and subheadings, the logical flow of the briefing note, how to put the materiality paragraph, following the instructions of the partner, adherence to the instructions of the partner. Uh, and that's all how you can excel on the 3 communication skill marks out of the 10 professional marks you have in the first question. Then ensuring wherever possible, identify a trend, wherever possible, do a relevant calculation. Try to ensure your answer is linked to the case. Nothing is hypothetical. Whatever you are writing is coming from the case. Try to exercise judgment. Try to take sound decisions. Ensuring wherever there is a risk of management bias, be skeptical. Question the management because auditor needs to question the management because whatever the management is telling you is not right. You need to be skeptical. You need to question management. Why are they doing something? If the management is hiding something, concealing something, if the director's bonus are linked to profit, be skeptical about the risk of management bias. Interrogate risk of management bias. It could be anywhere in the question number 1, 2, and 3. Be skeptical about fraudulent financial reporting. Be skeptical about understatements and overstatement in a reporting question, in a risk question. So this is how you can capture most of your professional skill marks, your good decision makings, linkage with the case, no hypothetical assumptions, ensuring wherever you can do calculations, you can identify trends, do them. Wherever you can comment on the materiality in anywhere across the paper, do that. Please ensure identify any risk of management bias, any identify any fraud risk factor, identify any unusual behavior of the management. Be skeptical around management assumptions, particularly the assumptions underlying the cash flow forecast. Whenever you're writing a procedure, the procedure has to be from the case. It has to be specific to the case. You need to tailor your procedure according to the case situation. I have given you my mnemonic CASP. The procedure has to be case specific. You cannot write your own rote learn procedures. You need to find the procedures from the information the examining team has presented to you in the case study. So any student is who has absorbed the case study in your answer, or any student who has synchronized the answer with the case study, you're passing the AAA paper. Because if you're synchronizing the case in your answer, you're blending the case in your answer, you're grabbing most of the 20 professional marks even. So any student who is hypothetical, taking assumptions, taking writing something which is from the book, not the case study, you're just trying to address the journal requirement. You're not linking the requirement with the case facts and the case information. You're not impressing the marking team to pass you. So please ensure that you excel on the day of your upcoming exam. 7 crucial days to focus on excelling professional marks, time management, reading recent articles, mock exam, and practice of the recent papers. And the most important thing, which I must have missed out, is please ensure that you are reading the two latest examiner reports, I think that is one from June 23 paper and one from the December 22 paper. So if you just read the examiner reports, that would be really important. Just let me put that on the screen as well. Do read examiner reports, which is important. One is the June 23 and one is the December 22. So this is like extremely important. You will get to know why student failed the AAA paper. You will get to know the criticism of the examiner on procedures, on audit risk, on business risk. You will get to know the criticism of the examiner around professional marks. You can learn from that criticism and ensure you are avoiding that on the day of the December 23 exam. So please do read the two latest examiner reports, June 23 and December 22. Okay, the first question is from Adnan Khan. So, any specific topics and other assignments? See, Adnan, question spotting is not an ideal practice for AAA. You cannot spot what can come. You know, examiner is very fond of prospective financial information. You must have seen that is one particular assignment which repeats a lot. But having said that, I just mentioned assurance on social, environmental, and sustainability information is one thing which is least examined. The likelihood of that is very high for December 23 exams. But you should be very good on all the other assignments around practice management methods and around procedures, because you know there is no one paper now for AAA, because there are so many different time zones in which AAA paper is taking place. So the examining team ideally said 2 to 3 exam papers for the global audience. So anything is possible, right? Okay, there is a question from Ashok Kumar. Sir, I just completed watching your lectures from the Smart course today. Is that time frame enough for me to do the effective practice questions? If you have booked your exams and you have to give exams on Monday, then this is a do or die situation for you, right? So eventually, what I have guided you in the last, what I've just guided you today, what you should do for the last 7 days. I hope you will follow that, Ashok Kumar, and wish you all the very best. There is a question from another student. Under completion and reporting, if we are to criticize the accounting treatment and we are given figures for profit, assets, and revenue, how do we write the sentence describing the materiality? You will write materiality on all three. You will divide the amount with profit, you will divide the amount with assets, you will divide the amount with revenue, and you will find the percentages. So you will say that, for example, this thing is 10% of the profit, comma 4% of the assets and 2% of the revenue. Thus, it is material to the financial statement. It could be possible that it is material on profit and immaterial on assets. So you will say this is material on profit and immaterial on assets. So you need to find percentages on across all three of them, right? Okay, a question from her, Rita. So, do you think doing the section B first will be good? No, I think when you're fresh, you are energetic, you should put that energy to the question number one. You cannot do the question number one after you have attempted section B, because you will be more lazy, lethargic. Your body confidence must have gone a bit down because you've attempted two questions already. So you will not be that energetic, which you need for the question number one. So I always prefer students to put their fresh energy at the start of the exam on the first question. I hope you're clear with that, Harita. And I hope you're clear with that. The student, I think, I don't know the name of the student, it says about international. So I hope you got the answer. Okay, another question from Aditya. The materiality is compulsory to be calculated on all three. Yes, in a reporting question, if all three factors are available, you will calculate on all three and find on which factor it is the highest, or which on which factor it is the most significant. It could be material on certain factor, but it could be pervasive on another factor. It could be material on like assets, or it could be pervasive on PBT. So you have to take the higher percentage in a reporting question, Aditya. Okay, Sabin. So, hi, sir. What is the important financial reporting standards for AAA? Again, we cannot spot things up, what's going through the examining team for Monday. But there are certain standards which are repetitive, like share-based payment is a very repetitive standard. Goodwill, IFRS 3 is a very repetitive standard. Revenue recognition is very repetitive. Lease is very repetitive. Then provisions and contingent liability, 37. Intangible assets, 38. 36, impairment. Government grant, these are very, very repetitive standards, so you might expect to find at least 50% of them on in the December 23 exams even. Okay, so I hope you all got your answers to your questions within this session today, which was around the exam tips for the last 7 days ahead of your AAA December 23 exams. I hope you will utilize these in effective manner. And I hope you're preparing yourself well. 7 more days, 7 crucial days, and I hope each day contributes towards your success. Okay, Ashok Kumar. So, for a private limited company, if the accounts are prepared on a breakup basis, this would be put up in EOMP. Yes, provided you have given a disclosure of that. So, f- if the financial statements are prepared on a breakup basis and the management has given an adequate disclosure of that, yes, it will go to the EOMP. That's perfectly right. Okay, so I hope you will utilize the tips from this session in an effective manner. And I will be doing another Q&A sessions exclusively for my registered students in the next 24 hours. So you can benefit from that, asking as many questions you want to. This is more like a public social media interaction where student gets to know what they should do in the last 7 days. Uh, Importance of ratios. Yes, ratios can I help you identify a risky area in the first question. So the typical ratios like gross profit margin, net profit margin, or typical ratios like effective tax rate, current ratios. These are more helpful ratios, right, in the AAA paper, which can really help you identify the underlying risk if you have the data given in the first question. Okay, Mohammed Raza, will there be a session with September High Achievers? Yes, definitely. That is planned, and hopefully by Thursday, expect a session with High Achievers for AAA, where the High Achievers will be guiding you what they did in the September exams to get high marks. So be focused on that, Mohammed Raza. It will be coming soon by Thursday. So you get to know their perspective, how they achieve excellence in the AAA September 23 exams. Uh, so can you give me some points in the key audit meta part? That you should be knowing what is a key audit meta, that what is included in the key audit meta. I hope you should have a theoretical knowledge of that, because this is not a theoretical session, but I hope you know what is the ingredient of a key audit meta paragraph, what is actually included, what sort of matters are included in the key audit meta paragraph. You can read some of the previous examiner answers and the examiner reports to get more confidence on that. Again, the same question: which topic from other assignments is high probable? Again, I'm not spotting any questions. We know there are a couple of papers set for AAA, considering the different time zones. So no predictions of topics, right? Frequency-wise, prospective financial information, and on the chance of a probability, assurance on social, environmental, and sustainability information, which is a relatively new topic under syllabus area F. Okay, so I'll be doing a session with the high achievers for AAA. You can get to know their perspective of how to excel in a AAA exam on Thursday. And for my exclusive registered students, there will be a Q&A session just confined to my class students asking me questions around whatever is in their mind. I hope you largely benefited from this session. I hope you got these tips for the last 7 days, all of you, and I hope you will be utilizing them in a more effective manner. It's time to say you goodbye from this session, and stay tuned on my social media, whether it's my YouTube, LinkedIn, or my Facebook page for the next 72 hours, because plenty of more stuff is coming your way for AA, AAA, and SBL. So stay tuned, and I hope you will thoroughly enjoy those upcoming sessions as well. Wish you all the very best of luck, and take care, study effectively. Goodbye. Your tutor Kashif Kamran signing off from this social media live session.